I'm Roger Wakefield.
And I'm Julie Wakefield.
Today, we're going to talk about how to be confident at networking events. Now, think about this. As me walking in as a plumber, realizing that normally this is business people, I was in a whole new world, but luckily, Julie was able to give me some tips and tricks and pointers to help me out and let me feel really confident walking in from the very first time. And I got even a lot better at it the more I learned. So, Julie, this is really a big deal.
Oh, it is. And we're coming out of 2020 where we weren't really in person. And so I think there might be a little bit of fear coming into like, oh my gosh, I haven't done this in a while. I know when we all first start networking, none of us have confidence. You just have to get going. But yeah, I think this one is a big deal today because this is going to help you a lot as you start to get back out there and start getting into in-person events again.
If you're very confident in networking, do me a favor, leave a comment down below and let us know what is the number one thing that gets you interested and makes you feel confident when you go networking. Leave us a comment down below and let us know what's your trick. So first, you want to find events that are going to be good for you, meaning I'm a plumber. So me, it was really good to reach out to different events and find out where I could get in front of a lot of real estate agents. Real estate agents for a plumber is great because now I can connect with people and network with people that can introduce me to multiple people, which is one thing you taught me. When you go networking, these aren't the people you're trying to sell to. You're trying to get these people to refer you and recommend you to the people they know.
Right. You just want to build relationships with people. And so as a plumber, a real estate agent is a great way to do that. Me as a corporate etiquette person, I can network with a wider variety of people, so I can go to more events. So I just had to get out and find the ones that I thought I felt comfortable in. It's kind of like choosing a networking group, or if you were in college and you were in a fraternity or sorority, you just kind of have to find where you fit in and where you feel comfortable. And that's going to be your challenge. So look at it as make it fun. I'm going to go pick 1 or 2 events a week and go regularly. And then if you realize that you're not getting anything out of it, or it's not really your group of people where you should be with, don't go back. Find another one.
Now, the neat thing is you're going to get comfortable and just meet friends at these networking events. Now, that's one good thing about going back to a same networking event on multiple occasions. You get to know more people. We started out, you took me to a happy hour networking event, which is good for me. I'm in my comfort zone there. But eventually, I went to a Master Networks event and realized, look, I love networking with the same people over and over every week. And really then, that puts you in a position where you've got friends, you've got relationships, that you build a tribe around you to help you grow your business.
Yeah, and that's a great point. You want to find a couple of networking groups that are different yet are still networking. So you might have the daytime networking groups like Master Networks where you meet with the same people on a regular basis, or you might go to a happy hour that meets every month. After you go a few times though, you're going to start seeing the same faces and it's going to feel like home. So the more you go, the more people you're going to meet and the better off you're going to be.
Now, a good thing about that is, remember, you want to feel confident. Now, me as a plumber walking into a networking event, I was so far out of my element. I realized that once people saw my shirt and realized I was a plumber, I was good. I can talk plumbing with anybody and very confidently. I've got a lot of experience. I know exactly what I'm doing. Building this confidence helps you literally walk up and enter conversations because you understand what you can talk about. Stay in your lane.
Oh, that's so true. Because once people say, oh my gosh, what do you do? Like if I say, well, I teach corporate etiquette, people will go, oh my gosh, everyone needs that. And so then all of a sudden, I'm kind of in my comfort zone because I can talk a little bit about that. But that I think it's really important, Roger, that we really don't want to keep the focus on us the whole time. It's great to let people know what you do, but you want to also find out what they do. So ask good questions. Find out what they do. How did they get started? And, ask them, I love this one. What makes you different from everybody else in your field?
And that's great because everybody starts off, so what do you do?
Yeah.
And that is something that, almost every conversation starts that way.
Right.
Be a little bit different. And I remember Tina, I love her answer. She'd say, you know what, it's probably not as exciting as what you do, so tell me about you. This let her have time to kind of think about, if I were trying to build a relationship, a synergistic partner with this person, how would I go about that? Things like that are great to know.
Roger, you talk about being comfortable joining conversations. I want to give a word of caution here. A lot of people will go to the bar. That's your strategy.
I used to be a bartender. I fit in well
he's
there.
comfortable at the bar, and so that's great. But what you really should be cautious of is overdoing the alcohol. I know I've had a lot of people tell me, Julie, if I can just get 1 or 2 drinks in, I'm better, I'm more confident, and that's okay. But you got to be careful about that, because once you start to slur your words or you start to talk too much, you say things you wouldn't normally say, you got to watch. Alcohol really kind of keeps you from being on guard. So I would say if you have to have a glass of wine or something in the beginning, go ahead and do it, but then switch over to a club soda. And don't just keep doing the alcohol over and over again. I promise you that one will pay off.
And another good thing to do, especially how to get into conversations, is be a connector. Think about it. When you go to networking events, I always look at the other people and think, who could I connect them with that may help them? Because if you can be a connector for some people, they're going to want to connect you too. And it really does, that's very beneficial, and it's a good way to do it.
Yeah, and I think networking has a lot to do with being a giver. And really, when you go into a networking event, you do want business. That's why we all are networking. I mean, we got to be real about that. But you don't want to go in trying to sell. So if you can go in and say, tell me what you do, tell me what makes you different, tell me about how you got started, you can start to get a little bit of information from them. And then you can say, you know what, I think you would have good synergy with so-and-so. And then you start helping people build their network, because what you put out into this world comes back to you. So make sure you go in with that servant heart. Make sure that you're that giver.
Another thing too is, and this is Julie's specialty, remember business etiquette. You want to remember when you're talking to somebody, you want to look at them. You want to focus on them. You don't want to be standing there talking to somebody and just the entire time you're constantly looking around the whole room like, okay, is there anybody else here I'd rather be with? You want to let them know, look, I do value your time and I value my time, but think about that. Remember the business etiquette. Focus on them, look at them, talk to them, and if you realize this isn't who you need to be talking to, politely exit your way out of that conversation.
I think that's a great idea. You want to make sure that you're present in the moment. You want to make them feel like right now, even though this room is pretty crowded, you want to make sure that that person understands that you're with them right now, because it's how you make them feel. And if you make them feel like you're just ready for the next person, they're not going to really care about you either. So that would be a waste of time. So invest the time, be present. Eye contact is really important.
And one thing that you taught me too that's really good, when you do exchange business cards with people, hold their card in your hand. That way you can always look down at it in case you forget their name or you forget what they do. They may be talking about what they did this last weekend, and now all of a sudden you're like, okay, wait, who is this person and what do they do? You can always look back down at their card. Remembering somebody's name is really a big deal, and that's just a great way to do it.
Oh, absolutely. I never take cards and just immediately put them away. I always want to hold that card in my hand, because you're right, you can refer back to it. If somebody comes up and joins the conversation, you can make a great introduction. There's just a lot of reasons why you don't want to put that card away immediately. Hold on to it.
Another good one is active listening. When you talk to somebody, make sure you listen to repeat. Now, that's one thing that I learned, again, through Tina at Sandler, but learning to listen to somebody to where you can repeat it, it helps you. It helps you really understand them. Because if you're listening to repeat, you're not just listening to think about what you want to say. If you're listening to repeat, it helps. And you can say, okay, so Fred, really, you're in the energy savings business and you can help me save 50% on my electric bill. I'm definitely interested in talking to you more about this. Listening to repeat is a big deal. And when you talk back to someone like that and you repeat the things that they say to you, they understand you really are listening.
When you have those great conversations, Roger, and you say, I definitely want to talk to you more, you want to make sure that you follow up the next day or within, I would say, 48 hours. A few days, make sure you send them that email, give them a call, follow up with them to let them know that what you talked about was important and that you would like to schedule a call, a Zoom call, maybe go to coffee, whatever you're comfortable with. But you got to make sure that you do follow up, because that's where your fortunes are. And if you don't follow up, then you're just there for the party.
Well, following up is not my strong suit, so maybe I am just there for the party. What I do like to do is I like to connect with people on social media. That way I can see what they do there. I meet people in real life, then connect with them on social media. then I can kind of watch them, see what they do, see what they're all about, and hopefully find somebody that I can either connect them to, or they see something that I've written, published, or done on social media. They like it, and therefore they want to connect with me more. It's not just about networking. It is about building those relations. And you've got to be very confident about who you are and what you do when you go in to help you do better at these networking events.
You know, networking is all about ROI, but there is a system and strategy that goes with it. We hope we gave you some good ideas today about how you can be more confident when you go into networking events. Make sure if you haven't subscribed to this channel that you go ahead and subscribe and ring the bell so you won't miss any other videos as we come out with them.
And if you'd like to, share it with somebody that you think this could help. I'm Roger Wakefield.
And I'm Julie Wakefield.
And we'll see you in the next video
if we don't see you at a networking event first.